Right.
Yes. And we're not going to get much rainfall anytime soon. We do have a cold front, which will help to bring in a little bit of rain, but not much. And we're continuing into our two driest months normally, October and November. So don't really make up for the water levels that we have seen in terms of rainfall across the Mississippi Basin, or in terms of just helping us out with our drought. A little bit of rain expected later in the week. We'll talk more about that in a moment. But also, I think what's on more people's mind is that it will finally feel like fall for a few days. Today wasn't a bad day. A lot of sunshine. We're currently at 86 degrees. Dew points have not been terrible. The humidity came down yesterday. It did make it feel a little bit more comfortable in the shade. In the bright sunshine, it was pretty warm. Humidity, though, at the moment is only at 37%, and at least there is a breeze, as there was yesterday. That will continue into the day tomorrow, too. This strong easterly wind, you can kind of see the motion of some of the lower clouds that form generally on the south shore. Most of us, though, stayed under a lot of sunshine. In the 80s, but a few locations were still able to get into the 90s, although officially at Kenner, we stayed at 87 degrees. And the humidity had come down, more 50s on the north shore, but even south of the lake. And we're still hanging on to dew points in the 70s as you head toward the bayou parishes and down toward the coastline. So our high today of 87 was only 2 degrees off of our average high, which is now down to 85 degrees. And finally, for this weekend, we will see high temperatures staying below the average with a deep upper trough, which at the moment is starting to take shape out over the Pacific Northwest. This upper troughing will be moving across the central nation and kind of get reinforced as we head toward the latter part of the week. And the good news is this upper pattern is going to take us through the weekend and continue into early next week. So the temperature outlook for the next 6 to 10 days is for us to more than likely have a high temperature staying below the average. So great news from the central and eastern half of the nation. We will begin to see temperatures coming down a bit, likely to see a warm up out west and out toward the Pacific Northwest. And it will be a noticeable drop in temperature. A lot of folks are joking that, yeah, is this really going to be a front? No, this will be a real front with high temperatures this weekend in only the 70s. Now, our morning lows will also be noticeably cooler. Next couple of mornings, 60s and 70s as we start the mornings Thursday and into Friday. Then by Saturday morning, as that drier air moves in, we'll see more 60s, and then more noticeable by Sunday morning, temperatures in the 50s and 60s, maybe some upper 40s a little bit farther to the north by Sunday morning. As I'd also mentioned, we will see some rain with this front, but not much. It will be a fairly strong front, but there just isn't much moisture to work with. And so the rainfall outlook for really Friday will be our best chance of rain, is only calling for maybe a little bit more than a trace. So we are not talking about much rainfall at all. Here's kind of the rough timing. Front starts to approach. We'll see some pop-up showers during the day on Friday, not looking at a great deal of rainfall. Then the front moves on through. We'll probably see some weekend stability in the upper atmosphere to keep some cloud cover around for the weekend. And that really could also help to keep our temperatures into the 70s if we don't see much sunshine, or at least not bright sunshine like we had this past weekend. But as we head into the weekend and early next week, that drier and cooler air will be moving in. Even with the cold fronts finally starting to take shape, we're not done with the tropical season just yet, although at the moment the only system that we have is Philippe. Philippe has been a stubborn storm and very difficult to forecast because of the upper steering, dry air, wind shear, and it's still hanging on, although earlier models had, as of last week, had this dissipating kind of over the islands as of yesterday, today, and it's not have done that at all. As a matter of fact, it's kind of parked right near the northeastern islands. Thankfully, the strongest winds and heavier rainfall are away from the islands, and this should, as it moves northward, stay generally to the east of Bermuda, but possibly as a strengthening storm to a hurricane. Obviously, with the unsuredness of this model and of the forecast of this storm, don't put a whole lot of faith in this forecast. So something that folks in Bermuda will need to watch as we head toward the latter part of the week and weekend. Point is, we are staying quiet in the tropics, and a real cold front is on the horizon. High temperatures upper 80s, so still hanging just above our normal high. We'll see those few showers on Friday, then a good feel air mass arrives for this weekend and going into early next week.